saying from the other songs.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 438. It's Friday, January 4th, 2012, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Internet talk radio for your imagination. Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on Earth located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today we hear from Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, the Brewmaster. Plus we bring you the segment Mike on Mobile with the last word on dog walking in 2012.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And it looks like George Lucas into marriage. He is going to delve.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
He's getting married to a DreamWorks animation chairman by the name of Melody Hobson, and she has been dating George Lucas since 2006, and they don't have a son yet, or a daughter. But did you know George Lucas has adopted several children? 3, actually. He was married before to Marsha Lou Griffin, a film editor back then, but they got divorced in 1983.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
George Lucas's fiancée Melody Hobson also was one of Esquire's best and brightest in America. Not too shabby.
Mike's
First, he makes a bunch of money
Daily
off of selling his stuff to
Podcast.
Disney, and now he's going to get married. What an exciting 2013 for that guy. Oh, look who just walked in.
Hi, Mike. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How y'all doing?
And it's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
I can't believe it's 2013. I mean, come on. It's going to be a long year, I can already tell.
Why do you say that, disgruntled fiddle player?
First off, I'm married to you, which I love.
Okay, that's great news. Go outside and get me a hamburger.
Okay, I gotta go. Bye.
Wow, you're putting him to work awful early this year.
Yeah, Mike, I don't want him laying around and watching a bunch of football like he's been doing for the past couple of weeks.
We'll make him go out and get you a hamburger. That's one way of dealing with that.
Mike, how was your New Year's?
Well, it was a lot of fun. You probably heard the Mike's Daily Podcast where we broadcasted live from Escondido, California. That's where I was visiting some friends of mine. We spent New Year's down there with them. We saw a couple movies, including the This Is 40 movie, which was wonderful, funny, long. Judd Apatow movies are long, but was very humorous and very 2000, I guess, 13.
Is that a movie made by George Lucas?
No, I said Judd Apatow made that one.
Who's George Lucas?
Did you ever hear of Star Wars?
What's that?
It has something to do with large furry animals. Oh, look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. I make the root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boo!
Brewmaster, I went to an actual brewery that makes amazing beer. I talked about it in my last Mike's Daily Podcast live from Escondido because it was an Escondido brewery, and they make this arrogant... did I just get bleeped for saying the name of that beer? Fine, then. Anyway... It was quite a fascinating, a little pricey on the lunch menu, I must say. It was like $21 to get lunch there, but whatever. I mean, at a brewery of all places, you expect them to just throw food at you and you don't pay anything.
Mike, then how would their restaurant turn a profit?
I can see your reasoning.
Mike, I would like to start a restaurant here where I make the root beer. And then I could charge $21 for food that's absolutely boring.
Well, fine. You can go ahead and start doing that. What kind of food are you going to serve?
I got this great recipe where I take bread and I heat it up and I put this white milky substance on top of it that comes in cube form.
You mean toast?
Yeah, isn't that great?
It's okay. I saw the movie Toast last night because it's on Netflix. And everybody I know has watched it, so I watched it and, whatever.
A movie about toast sounds magnificent.
It's about a cook, a famous cook, and you know what? I just forgot the whole story. It was pretty much just about something in England and making toast and becoming a really good cook.
But, Mike, I heard that the cinematography was excellent.
Don't tell me you've actually heard of this movie.
Yeah, I read a lot of film blogs.
Mock, I had to come back with this cheeseburger and tell you that she's lying.
The smell that was wafting from her did smell like a lie. And that you had just come back with a cheeseburger.
Yeah, don't go trying to say any bad words again. I'll bleep you again.
All right. Okay. You got it. I will not be believable.
Mark, we gotta go. I gotta eat my cheeseburger and read some more amazingly boring blogs. Bye, bye, bye. Can't wait for Downton Abbey.
So if you're happy about movie blogs and happy about cheeseburgers and happy about the new year 2013 and happy for George Lucas's engagement, or if you're just happy, you can comment, email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. We'll read your emails on the segment Emails from Email. And thank you very much for putting up with some of the repeats of this show on knjoradio.com. We didn't get to a new one for quite a while because I was busy and indisposed in Escondido. Indisposed in the Dido. And I would love to tell you more about it, but pretty much everything that happened is everything I just told you. Oh, except I also watched a Steve Carell, Keira Knightley movie called Seeking a Friend for the End of the World or something like that, where the world is ending and it's kind of a comedy. Actually watched that on New Year's Eve, just as the fiscal cliff was happening and all that. So in the wake of the Mayan calendar controversy, it was sort of a Armageddon-y New Year's Eve. But here we are, alive in 2013, so everything turned out well. And you can email me if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. You can also go to the website. It's called mikesdailypodcast.com. It's why it's named after the show. How clever. And you can find a link to where to find the show in iTunes. You can subscribe to the show there, and then more people find out about us. It works out great and helps us out. Also go to mikesdailypodcast.com to read the blog, to find out where to find us on Twitter, Facebook, Yelp, and YouTube. It's all there, mikesdailypodcast.com.
Mike on mobile.
So a week ago today was still 2012, obviously, and I was in the city of San Francisco because I found out that they were celebrating the 100-year anniversary of Muni. So the next day, I was walking Basel, and this Mike on Mobile occurred.
It's Mike Matthews and Mike on Mobile, walking Basil the Boxer on the last Saturday of 2012. And on Friday night, there was a interesting event that took place in San Francisco where the Muni was free. The Muni is the transportation system, which includes the buses and the cable cars and the streetcars and the buses with the electrical, the things that go to the big antennas, the high-tech, I don't know what they're called, the electrical, anyway. And then who else had, the other streetcars that turned into subway. They got all kinds of funky transportation stuff in San Francisco that was all free. So that was fun. I rode on a cable car and I hardly had to wait, which is amazing. It never happens. And it was like a roller coaster ride, coming down, looking over and seeing that island, the jail. Okay. That guy looked at me like, come on, don't you know the name of Alcatraz? So that was fascinating to be able to do that. And walking Basel here as 2012 is wrapping up. It's a fun day. I guess he's had a good year. He's done a lot of walking, a lot of sniffing. Sniffing just about anything. It's like, why are you sniffing that? Obviously you know what that is. And what's your nose going to tell you different that your eyes can? All right, more people driving by wondering what the heck I'm talking about. Okay. So, anyway, that's been a year of many dog walks and a year of lots of dog sniffings. And that would be Mike on Mobile for Mike's Daily Podcast. Basil has a little bit of drool wrapped around his snout. Snoot. He's a little snooty. Have a good 2013. Gosh. How come you have so much pee? It's amazing.
Yet Basil the Boxer did not answer me. He did not have an answer for that question. But I guess if your nose is the most sensitive part of your body, you're going to sniff a lot too. It's just sort of... part and parcel as we go outside the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The picture is very fitting. It kind of has to do with George Lucas, and that would be because the dog I am sitting with looks like an Ewok. I mean, it really does. I mean, this dog was cute. In Thanksgiving, November 2012, my wife Robin and I drove down from Podcastro Valley, California, down to Ventura County, California, and to Ventura and Oxnard, Thousand Oaks, that particular area. And we went and met our good friend Jocelyn Rohrback at a Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. We sadly don't have a lot of coffee bean and tea leaves in the Bay Area, but they are proliferating about the Southern California area. And so I try to drink as much coffee bean and tea leaf when I am in the southerner part of the California. So, I get the Black Forest blended, by the way. Quite good. It's got chunks of all kinds of espresso bean matter in it. So you get a bit after drinking one. And it's got the wonderful whipped cream. So I'm sitting in front of one of those coffee bean and tea leaves with the wonderful, wondrous Myron there on a beautiful Ventura County day. By the way, Jocelyn has an awesome blog you should check out. It is called Ventura101.com, and she gets like all the latest local news and stuff in Ventura County. Ventura 101. In fact, Jocelyn and I used to do a computer web radio show called Worldwide Webs Days. We used to do it when I was on the country station in Ventura County. And tomorrow I'll actually feature a little segment that we did, Worldwide Webs Days, talking about new stuff on the internet. Of course, it'll be interesting because now it's been like 10 years since we did that, and the news will sound a little bit dated, and you'll be able to laugh at how outdated some of the stuff we're talking about is in the world of computers. But I'll play back a little segment of that tomorrow on the segment Mike's Cassette Cubbyhole, because that's how I have saved this for posterity, was on cassette. So it's of cassette quality, but it is of timeless quality as well. Worldwide Webs Days, because we did it on Wednesdays. This is so funny.
Mark, that dog looks kind of scary. I don't want to get anywhere near it because I think it might try and tie me up to a tree.
Did Ewoks do that?
Then they poured honey all over my body.
Did Ewoks do that?
And then they put me on a flying motorcycle and make me drive real fast and run into a tree and explode.
Did Ewoks do that?
Mark, one of them just blew up my flying motorcycle, tell you what.
You had Geico insurance, though, didn't you?
Yeah. You know, I'm as happy as Gallagher at a...
farmer's market.
That's right.
I've seen that commercial way too much.
Mark, some people think that I look a little like an Ewok.
Yeah, an Ewok with lederhosen.
That's redundant.
Well, okay. So tomorrow we'll bring you the segment Mike's Cassette Cubbyhole, plus we'll hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Are you sure?
Pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!